Hey, everybody out there in cryptid land. Me and my buddy Dirty got a great guest for you tonight. Her name is Raenell. She ain't going to give you her last name. She's going to be a mystery lady. And she's going to talk about the two big ones, Bigfoot and UFOs. So join us tonight on the Cryptid Quest podcast. Hey, everybody out there in cryptid land. Tonight we have a really cool guest with us. It's Raenell from Oregon. How you doing, Raenell?
I'm doing great. How are you, Patrick?
I'm not doing bad at all. So Raenell and I met at the Beachfoot conference, all about Bigfoot, but I think she's got a UFO tale to tell us tonight.
I
So
do.
why don't you go ahead and lay it on us, Raenell?
Okay. Well, I'm in Oregon. I've lived in Oregon for over 50 years. I've always been out in the woods, camping, hunting, fishing, whatever. And this happened about 2012. My now ex-husband and my brother and I decided to go out because y'all sit around planning Bigfoot things at Thanksgiving, right? So we decided the next night we were going to go out and go looking for Bigfoot up in this area that we kind of knew pretty well. At least my brother did. So the next night we go up there, and I don't know if anybody from Oregon is listening, but it's outside of Estacada. And Estacada is about maybe 45 minutes outside of Portland. So we went another 15 miles or so up the Clackamas River, up into the woods and on these Forest Service roads. And we drove around for an hour or so, and it was starting to get dark. And my brother says, well, why don't we go to Grouse Point? And I didn't really know that part very well, so I didn't really know where it was, but we said, okay, sure. And he directed us over there. And there was a little campground, really nice little camping area that was kind of, not an official campground, but, they've made it one. So you kind of walk through there and hit the trail to go to Grouse Point. Well, we're all carrying, like cameras, digital recorders. My camera had a video function on it with night vision. My brother had night vision goggles on. Yeah, my husband had his Garmin, his GPS back then, and we were all armed, So my brother, this is kind of a delicate topic, but he had an AK-47.
Yeah,
and
I do too. That's okay.
Okay, he's always, armed to the teeth when we go out. He was pretty kind of a reckless kind of a person, but brave as well. So we decide, we hike for 5 or 10 minutes on the trail, and then he decides, well, let's go off trail. So like, okay, so we get the Garmin out and we're walking along, and we see some lights. And at first we all kind of thought that it was another camping area, and because some of the lights were stationary, some of them were moving, so we thought, well, it's people walking around with flashlights, or ATVs or whatever, but there was zero noise at all. So my brother's like, well, let's get closer. So, okay, let's get closer. So we get a little closer, and then we realize that it's one object that's producing all these lights. And we can see the outline of it. And it's shaped like an upside down pie tin, flat on the top, and then it slopes down and flat on the bottom.
Okay.
I hate using this reference, but it had lights on the bottom that were long, skinny, rectangular lights that were moving like in the movie Close Encounters.
Yeah.
They were crisscrossing each other. And they were all the same color. All the lights on this thing, this craft, if that's what you want to call it, were kind of a yellowish white color. And they're kind of crisscrossing and moving around the bottom. And above that is stationary square, like windows, basically, in this thing. And above that, there were smaller, round, stationary lights on the top, across the top. And we're like, well, this is interesting,
Yeah.
And I started to get scared. I was actually scared.
And still no noise.
No, absolutely no sound whatsoever.
Wow.
And my brother keeps saying, there's nothing over there. There's nothing there. And I'm like, what are you talking about? There's nothing there. He says, there's nothing there for it to sit on. It's a valley. And I'm like, what? No, that can't be. And my husband is just behind me, just going, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. He's just flabbergasted about this. My brother, kind of crazy, he decides, let's get a little closer even. Right. So he unslings his rifle and heads down like he's doing some charge at this thing. And I am screaming at him, get away from it, get back, because I don't know what would happen.
Yeah.
I see him with a weapon, and I don't know. So I kind of moved a little closer. My husband, he stays behind everybody. Which is really funny because he was a really big, tough guy, and he was scared, but then we kind of started looking, and my brother says, oh my God, I can see them. And I'm like, what do you mean them? And I put up my camera and I looked through, I had a telescoping lens, and I looked through it, and you could see silhouettes of these things in the windows.
Oh my
like
God.
They had stopped to look out the window at us. As I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. It was just
goosebumps.
Yeah, it was just, I was like, oh my God. And so I'm like, Jeff, we got to go. And my brother's like, no, wait. And he says, take some pictures. And so I tried to I took a few pictures, I'm shaking literally. Yeah. And so he's like holding his gun up, looking through the scope, and he drops his rifle and he says, we have to go now. And I'm like, what? Why? And he's like, just go. So we're sprinting through the woods. My husband gets his Garmin out to find a way back to the trail, and it's fried. It's totally fried.
Oh my God.
It's just snow, nothing.
Yeah.
And this time, this thing is not making any noise. So we're running through the woods, just, tripping over trees and all this stuff. And we can hear something in the woods behind us.
Oh man.
Like scurrying, something smaller than us scurrying through the bushes. And my brother's like, just run faster. You got to go. So we go, I'm sorry.
If you need a minute, you can take a minute.
I was terrified.
Oh, I believe you. It sounds terrifying. I would have been too.
It's just, oh God. So we make it to the trail, and where we can run faster, and we run and we get to the truck, and we manage to unlock it. We can still hear something in the woods. So I had left a digital recorder on the bumper of the truck just in case Bigfoot showed up,
Yeah,
I grabbed that. We literally just threw everything in the truck and jumped in and took off. And I have never seen my husband drive so fast in my entire life. He's a professional. He's a truck driver for his job. And so he's a good driver, but I thought we were going to die from that. He was just driving so fast to get away from this thing. And we look off to our left and we can see it. And it just feels like they're watching us, and kind of following us along. And we fly down the mountain. It takes us 15 minutes to get down out of the woods. So we get to the main road, take off, and we felt safer, but we never said a word to each other until, I don't know, maybe a half hour later, we get to Boring. If anybody knows where that is. And
well, yeah, that's where the Bigfoot museum is.
So we get to Boring and we stop at this little store because, it's still open. It's not even really late yet, because it's November. And we stop there and we get some drinks and whatever. And we finally take a breath and sit down in the car and look at all of our...
For drinks, did you get some freaking...
No, actually, no. we didn't. We just got soda or whatever. But I think, maybe my brother got something stronger.
Yeah,
but
I don't blame him.
So we stop and we're looking at the cameras and stuff and the digital recorder that I had, because I brought two. And it is literally, I looked at the time on it. The whole thing lasted 8 minutes is all.
Yeah. Well, that's a
The
lot of
same
time, really.
terror. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just 8 minutes of static. No pictures, just snow. Nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. No
I'm not
sound, no
not
nothing.
surprised. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, it figures,
Yeah.
And so we finally kind of talked about it a little bit. And I mean, my brother was white. He was white. And
Yeah.
till the day he died, he never talked about what he saw through the scope.
Oh man.
I know. He wouldn't tell me. So we get home, gets actually was my mom's house and kind of talked about it for a little bit and told my mom and she didn't believe me and told my dad. My dad believed me.
Yeah.
My dad was like, oh my gosh, that's cool, but scary,
Yeah.
So a few months, because it was like spring, summerish. We go back there. My brother's like, I need to show you where this thing was. We need to, I need to show you that there was nothing for it to sit on.
Yeah.
So we go back to right where we were, and he was right. It's just a big valley. So that thing was hovering over the forest floor and not making a sound.
Holy cow.
And it was literally the size of a football field, I would say.
Oh
It was
my God, that big.
It was gigantic.
Well, every time, well, not every time, but a lot of times when I hear people who have encountered a UFO, they're
Yeah.
always that big.
Yeah, it was
Always
huge.
that big.
It was just huge.
That's
And I'm like,
crazy.
how can nobody else know it's here?
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
Yeah, but who else is going to be out in the woods looking for Bigfoot the day after Thanksgiving?
Well, I would be, but so you said, I think you said you could see at some point, could you see the figures in the
Yeah,
windows?
yeah.
Now,
I could see just the silhouette though.
okay, when you saw the silhouette, did it look like it was something otherworldly, or did it just look like a silhouette could have been anything?
They were short. I'll tell you that much. They were shorter than a human. Didn't look like there was any hair on any of them. They all looked bald. Their heads were bigger, looked bigger, and their arms looked really thin.
Okay, so
But every once in a
basically,
while, yeah, a gray kind of, yeah. Every
yeah,
once in a while, one would raise their arm like they were pointing or something. And I don't know what my brother saw, but he got a better look.
that's
So
well, that's where I'm kind of going with this, because maybe just the sheer fact that he got an up close look.
yeah.
I mean, I think that would freak me the hell out.
Oh yeah,
They wouldn't have to be doing something
I
in
know.
particular. You
Yeah,
know, if I see a silhouette, that's one thing, but if I see their damn face and eyeballs, that's a totally
yeah,
different camp.
yeah. But he never said. He never told anybody what he saw.
Oh wow. So, and how far away were you guys?
I'm a horrible judge at distance, so
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. Maybe I don't want to say quarter mile, but not that far. Not that
Yeah.
far.
Well, you
Um,
were at least far enough away to be able to tell that it was as big as it was, to see it from end to end. Because I don't
because
think,
where we were,
if
I'm
you're
sorry.
5 feet, yeah, I was gonna say, if you're 5 feet away from a ship that big, you ain't gonna be able to tell. So I
Right,
guess
right.
you had
We
to
were
be back a bit.
edge of a ravine, a little bit, but I couldn't tell until the next time that we came back.
Yeah.
And I looked, and because we weren't far from the edge, and I didn't realize that at the time.
Wow. Wow. Well, that is officially like one of the best ones I've heard that didn't involve getting abducted.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. I thought, they're going to take Jeff, my brother, because he's the one pointing the gun at him,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, no, I don't want, I've seen fire in the sky. I don't want that going on,
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because if they decide, and I mean, I'm talking like I'm an expert, but I've listened to enough of these people
Yeah.
because I've interviewed 2 abductees,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, and both of them, I mean, just like your story, I know there's everything they're saying is true. You know, I
Mhm.
can hear it. I can hear it in their voice. I can see it in their face.
Yeah.
The difference between the two was one lady was kind of like, okay, well, you're gonna do it anyway, so I might as well be okay with it.
Just go
You
with
know?
it.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. But the other lady was like totally against it, hated it, didn't,
Yeah.
but it still happened.
Yeah.
So when it comes to them wanting to get you, I don't think there's anything you can really do about it.
Probably not. No. I mean, sure, we were all armed. My husband and I had pistols. My brother had a pistol and the rifle. But I really don't think that would have changed their mind if they wanted us. You
No,
know,
no, no, no.
and
Yeah, if they're in a ship hovering over the ground, not making a lick of sound,
yeah,
and it's that big,
yeah, that
I,
was
you
the
know,
weirdest part. Was I kept waiting for it to make a noise, and
yeah,
it was nothing.
yeah. Well, I don't think a bullet's gonna freaking do much to
No,
them.
no.
So,
Yeah, but I don't know what
um,
if it would kill them if they were like just standing right in front of us. I have no
yeah,
idea. It might. I don't know.
yeah. I guess it might. I guess it might. But then again, beings with this much technology and knowledge, do you really want to try and piss them off? I mean,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, that's a
I
whole catch-22.
I did not. Yeah, I did not enjoy that trip. In fact, I don't watch um movies or anything about aliens anymore. And it
Yeah.
took years to go back out in the woods after that.
Oh man. Well, I feel bad for you on that respect. I mean, I know I'm smiling and laughing and stuff, but I feel bad for you. If something like that happened to me, I don't know how I would take it, because like when I had my experience with uh, Sasquatch,
Mhm.
it kind of did the same thing to me. I was scared for a while, but I
Yeah.
finally got over that fear
Mhm.
because I just kind of knew in my head, Bigfoot, if they wanted to hurt me, he's gonna hurt me.
Exactly. Yeah.
But with aliens, you just don't know what the hell they're thinking. And I don't care, they're real. I know this is like supposedly, they may, no, they're real. They're
They're
real.
true. Absolutely.
Yeah. I have never seen anything like that, but just because I haven't seen it does not mean I don't 100% believe, because the people I've talked to, you know, I it's too truthful. I mean, almost
Yeah.
too truthful. When you hear, and everything's always so similar.
Hmm.
Everything always seems so similar. The
Yeah. How could
only
all people be lying and all their stories match?
Exactly, exactly. Well, and kind of like the two abductee stories, so similar. I mean, because I interviewed the one lady, and then I've been talking to the other lady trying to get her to come on the show,
Hmm.
and I said, you need to listen. So I had her listen to the first interview I did. I said,
Right.
because your stories are so similar. And after she listened, she's like, oh my God, they are. She's like, they're almost exactly alike, except for the part I told you where one was okay with it, one wasn't.
Right. Right. I don't
But,
think I'd be okay with it. No.
no, I don't think I would be either. I mean, because they both remembered stuff that was going on up in the ship, you
Hmm.
know? They remembered being on the table and things being done to them, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's what I was terrified was going to happen. And I've never run so fast in my life. I was passing both the guys. I was just like, I'm out.
wow.
you know,
And you heard something coming through the woods after you.
yeah, behind
And,
us. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't animals. I know it wasn't animals. Animals
well,
aren't going to
animals aren't
follow a
chase
human.
you. Yeah, they're not
No,
going to chase you.
no.
If they're running from that thing, they're definitely not going to be running the direction you're running. They're going to be headed
Right.
a different direction.
And if they are running my direction, they'll pass us,
Yeah,
because deer and stuff like that are, yeah, I'm not that fast, but
yeah.
yeah, it really kind of, I thought they were going to get us.
And a lot, and this is kind of crazy. Maybe it's just because I try to concentrate on Bigfoot, but I've done, numerous UFO encounters, and a lot of the time, I'm not going to say all the time because I know it's not all the time, but a lot of the time, the people I talk to, they're out looking for Bigfoot when this shit happens.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah.
Which that whole part like boggles my mind too. So this area that you were going to look for Bigfoot at,
Yeah.
was it an area you were familiar with and you've had seen sign there or had a feeling that
Oh,
they were in the
I've
area?
had a couple of encounters in that area.
Okay.
It's up
So,
above Roaring River off the Clackamas River.
okay.
Now,
So
don't everybody go out there.
So it just makes me wonder if all these entities are attracted to that area for a certain reason.
Yeah. I don't know, because I've never seen, I know other people have seen a Bigfoot and a UFO together almost.
Yes.
I've never had that, but
that's an area I don't know what box to put that in. I don't want to call the people liars. It just seems a little fantastical. But see, I have theories on that. I think possibly, when they're seeing, because I've heard encounters of people seeing a Bigfoot getting beamed up into a UFO.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, I've heard that. But my way of thinking is these things are so advanced. And something that I've also been told is they can be in a room with you and you don't even know it. They have the ability to change their frequency or whatever,
or something. Yeah.
not be there. So if they got the ability to do that, and I do think that they're on this planet, and I think they do probably have disguise. They can disguise themselves.
Yeah, sure.
If they're interjecting into our society, our planet, everything that's going on, why wouldn't they become a Bigfoot at some point and go see? Because if they are searching everywhere,
just out there messing with us. I don't know.
Because they probably see Sasquatch as another type of people, I would think.
Yeah. I know that's how Native Americans think of him, her, as another kind of people, and I hear things, about them talking, mind, that kind of thing. I'm not sure about that, but
I'm not sure about it, but I've heard it from, there's some people in my head that are heroes of mine that have come out and said it, like Les Stroud, and he didn't really get into this for Bigfoot. Well, I think he got into what he was doing, but it kind of like tumbled into Bigfoot.
Right, because he had that encounter and then went, whoa, they're real. Yeah.
Oh, you ever heard Liz?
He was a guest at Beachfoot one year, so.
Yeah, he was supposed to come this year. Hey, Les, I'm mad at you. You didn't show up. He's one of the big ones I was wanting to meet. But there'll be another day. Not another Beachfoot, though.
No.
Oh, well.
It's sad. But
yeah. So, do you mind talking about Bigfoot a little bit?
No, not at all. I just don't want people to think I'm absolutely nuts because, I've had the UFO thing. I've had a few Bigfoot encounters, and I grew up in a house that was haunted.
That's 90. I'll be honest with you. That's 99% of the people that's in these Bigfoot groups. I've had ghost experiences, like really major ones. I've had UFO experiences. So if you're crazy, I'm crazy too.
Well, I think there's certain people that I don't want to say attract, but they're open to that kind of thing, and it just happens to them. They're in the right place at the right time or something. Like they say about ghosts, there's certain people that they call coolers, where entities won't reveal themselves to them.
Oh, I never heard of the cooler one. I've always heard of what's the other one? You're when they want to talk to you.
Now you got me. I can't think of it either. Not empaths. They're mediums, but I can't think of the word.
I know. I just screwed the whole show up. Damn it. Actually, almost every episode, there's always a word that I cannot remember. So
Yeah, you're getting old, just like the rest of us.
I am getting old. Damn it. So what? And nobody's gonna think you crazy. You
Okay.
know? I mean, come on.
Okay. So
We
the
got
Bigfoot ones, I've actually some people might have seen me. I was on an episode of Finding Bigfoot a long time ago.
oh
Yeah. So that's how I met Cliff and met him and his. They weren't married yet. I actually met his wife.
oh
She
I don't know her, but she seems super nice.
Yeah, she stood in for my daughter on the reenactment of
Oh yeah.
my sighting, and then Cliff. That's where they met. Was on when they were recording my episode. I think.
No
Told
doubt.
me. Yeah, yeah. And she and I have had pink hair at the same time, and yeah,
Oh,
she's
that's so
cool.
cool. That is cool.
But yeah, I saw that my kids and I were we used to live in Central Oregon in Bend, which is about a couple hour drive from Portland. And my husband couldn't go at the time, so we went in the winter over to visit family, and we were coming back. I believe it was February, not sure, but we were coming back going over Mount Hood, and it was about 9:30 at night, and it had snowed a lot that year, so the snowdrifts on the side of the road were easily as tall as the truck I was driving, which was, I measured it when I got home, which was like a little over 6 feet.
Yeah.
So I get to right before you go to Timberline Lodge, there's a gravel pit kind of thing where they store the gravel that they use to sand the roads.
Mm-hmm.
There's that, and then right across from it is a little kind of a road that goes to some people's houses, and then the road that goes up to Timberline. And at the gravel pit thing, there's a parking lot that holds about a row of cars, the alleyway or the driveway, and then another row of cars. And then there's a 2-lane highway. Driving along, and this thing runs from the parking lot across the parking lot, across the road, puts one hand up on the snowdrift, hops over, and runs off. And this is another silhouette kind of thing because it was in my headlight, maybe it was 100 yards, maybe away from me.
Yeah.
But it literally cleared that whole parking lot and the road in 10 to 12 strides.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And Bobo couldn't even do the parking lot in that. There's no way. And they measured it and they said it was probably about 7 feet tall. My daughter was in the front seat. My son was in the back playing on his phone, so he didn't see a thing.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at this thing as it's running, and it was like it didn't move when it ran. It didn't bounce like humans do. It just glided across the road. It was just amazing, and I could see in the headlights its head was pointed a little bit, and its arms were longer down to its knees, and every once in a while I could see a little hair in the headlights coming off of the back of its arms, and my first thought was, who is this idiot running across the road in the middle of the night? What the heck, And then I realized there's no like edges of clothing. I couldn't see like where a coat would stop and the pants would start, and stuff like that. The hair went down on covered the hands, there was no edges to anything. And the way it was running, kind of a little leaning forward with the arms like Chewbacca running across the road or something, and I kind of watched it. Then when it got to the snowdrift and just hopped over like it was nothing, I was like, oh, okay. And wow. We drove a few more miles, and my daughter says, and I said to my daughter, I said, did you see that? And she's like, yeah, is that what I think it was? I'm like, yeah, I think so. And then never said another word. To this day, my daughter won't talk about it.
Oh man.
I don't know why I get with these people that don't want to talk about things, but
yeah, I love talking about it. Well, I mean, I have a sister who was an eyewitness to one
Oh, yeah.
about 10 feet from her.
Oh, geez.
Never heard about it my entire life until I started this podcast.
And then she says, "Oh, yeah, by the way."
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, "What?" No.
Yeah. I'm like, what? She's like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. In the town where I grew up in. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, they were in a car and it come running through a field and they were parked on this gravel road and the thing was like running
My
at
God.
the car and yeah, they like at least
Wow.
they were inside of the car, but it was actually coming at them. And every time she describes
Yes.
it, I picture the picture. What is it, Boggy Creek, where
Yeah.
that's how she makes it sound because she said it was real hairy. She said it was kind of lanky, but it had
Yeah.
arms were real long, and she said it was
Yeah.
just had real long scraggly hair. And I was like, wow. But
That's a good view.
yeah, but
Not really.
but really like clicked in my head about that was my experience was on the same water system that hers was.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, it probably maybe 10 miles apart, but the
Mhm.
same. The river she saw hers on was connected to the river I saw mine on, about 10 miles apart. But there's
Wow.
been a lot of sightings around the area where I had mine. But
Well, what's really funny is a few months after that, my husband, that was the truck driver,
mhm,
he used to drive from Bend, from Central Oregon, over to Portland at night,
yeah.
and back, right? A few miles up the road from where my kids and I saw it, he saw one just standing on the side of the road, just standing there. And when he came around the corner, his headlights hit it, and he said it froze. Like, I'm not here,
Yeah.
you can't see
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
And he said it was so tall that he could have just turned his head and looked in the window of his semi truck.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And he drew a picture of it. He was terrified. My big burly truck driver ex-husband was terrified of all these things. I have the picture he drew somewhere. I
Yeah.
know I still have it, but it's a great picture. If I find it, I'll send it to you.
Okay,
But
cool.
so the next day, my son and I went up there and we're looking for footprints. And we almost got hit by a car, but right next to the road, we found one, 17 inches long.
Oh,
Yeah. It's actually on Cliff Barrickman's site, with where he has all the footprint pictures and stuff,
yeah, yeah. Okay.
his website. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Man.
had some interesting things happen. I mean, my brother and I were up camping at kind of in that same area where we saw the UFO. This was before the UFO. And we're both in our tents, and all of a sudden we hear things hitting the tent, and I'm like, okay, what the heck, and it's not raining, and these things that are hitting the tent start getting bigger. And I'm just like, oh crap, what's going
Yeah.
on here? And then we hear something walking in our camp. And you can tell when something's on 4 feet or 2,
Yeah.
it's not hard. And
Yeah.
it was literally hitting the ground hard. We could feel the vibration in the ground of whatever this was that was walking. So it was big.
Yeah.
We kind of could hear it every once in a while go, walking around. And the strides were far apart. You could hear, the steps far apart, and we're just like laying there going, oh my God. And my brother's dog, it was a pit bull lab mix. It buried itself in the bottom of his sleeping bag. It was terrified. And
Go ahead, finish.
well, it was funny. We had weapons, and at the exact same time, we both cocked our pistols, right? And we both started laughing. We're cracking up because we both thought of the same thing at the same. And whatever this was took off running. So I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, probably knew that sound too.
Yeah, it's like, I'm out. I'm not going to mess with these guys anymore. But I doubt that. I think he had a 9mm on a 22. I doubt that would have done anything but piss him off.
So it makes me wonder how because the dog situation always seems to be the same.
Yeah,
A dog
they're
that is
scared.
very, very aggressive all of a sudden turns into a timid little mouse. And what is it about? I mean, obviously it's a Bigfoot.
It
Yeah.
knows,
But
you
how
know.
did it know when it was outside your tent?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It knew
That mind,
something was
that
there. You
mind.
know?
And I think that them things can put off. And I think they got mind powers. We just don't know about that. Maybe people going to call me crazy, but they can say what they
I don't know.
want.
We didn't smell anything. We couldn't smell the odor that comes with some of the sightings or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the dog could smell something that
Oh,
we
yeah.
could, you know.
Something. Yeah.
But yeah, it was funny. And Bailey was such a sweet dog. He really wasn't, mean or aggressive, or even protective to that extent, But the fact that this 100-pound dog is burying himself in the bottom of my brother's sleeping bag and was terrified, that we're just like, okay, here it comes, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was interesting too.
Yeah, you guys got it going on up there in Oregon.
Yeah, I want to go out again, but I don't want to go by myself. I know this sounds like, I don't know. I know there's women that go out by themselves. I know
Yeah.
there are. I just don't want to. I don't feel like as a woman I should be out there by myself, even though I have weapons. I just don't think I should go by myself.
I don't blame you, but I
People
mean,
are crazier than the animals.
that's where I was getting ready to go with that. I think you got more to worry about with humans than you do with the creatures that are out there, but you still got to be worried about both. And I don't think it's a good idea to go into the woods by yourself, man or woman.
No, nobody should, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been hunting and I've had a huge black bear like 20 feet from me that didn't know I was there. Thank God. But I mean, if I had moved, raise my rifle or get my pistol or anything, it would have known I was there. So he just kind of sniffed around and left. But it was a big black bear, and so I wouldn't want to take my chances by myself with something like that,
No, definitely not. Well, there's a guy just got, I don't think he killed him, but it messed him up pretty bad. Got attacked by a black bear in Arkansas last
Oh, wow.
week. Yeah, he was out working on his tractor, which this is kind of weird. This is an old guy, about like 70, 80, out working on his tractor, and a black bear come out and attacked him.
Wow. Kind of makes you wonder why, because
Exactly.
they don't just come and attack people. They try and stay away from them.
Yeah, it don't happen around here. That's why I'm just like, what? I mean, they euthanized the bear. They found it.
Oh,
And
they
they
found
euthanized it. But
Did
something
they
had to
test
be
it for
wrong. That
anything?
ain't right. What's that?
Did they test it for anything to see if
I
it
don't
had?
know. I haven't heard yet. I imagine they are testing it, but like I said, it just happened. So, and who knows if they'll even put out the, results.
Yeah.
So they'd probably just keep it hush hush if it's something they don't want people to know.
Well, if it had rabies, that poor old man needs to be vaccinated,
100%. Yeah. Yes, because I still haven't heard how he's doing. I think he came out of it okay, because I haven't heard that he died, but it did say it sent him to the hospital in pretty bad shape.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the thing that worries me, and thankfully we don't have them in the Mount Hood National Forest, is wild hogs. Yeah, I would not want to mess with them. I mean, I've raised domestic pigs, and even they can be very vicious and mean. A wild one I wouldn't want to mess with.
Yeah, there's a lot of them down in Arkansas, kind of in our area too. But yeah, I heard a buddy telling me one time he was out. I know this is way off subject, but I don't care. My damn show. I can talk about what I want. So he was out hunting. He was actually out hunting for hogs, and he was in Arkansas. And he said he shot one, and it didn't drop it. It was still alive, but it turned around, saw him, treed him. He had to climb the tree to get away from it, and it finally died. But yeah, them things are aggressive. I mean, most animals, they get shot, they're going to run the other direction.
Right. It looks at you like you're the one, I'm coming for you.
Yeah. That's nuts.
Pigs are very smart, though. Pigs are very intelligent.
Yeah, that shows extreme thinking ability there. Hey, you just hurt me. Now I'm going to hurt you.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry that my stories aren't taking long enough to but it's just like,
No, no,
maybe I'm
you're
leaving out something. I don't know. I
no.
stretch.
Actually, this rolled out nice because we're right about the wrap up time, and I had a good conversation with you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, good.
This was a good back and forth. A lot of times, well, not a lot of times, but there's more times than I'd like where I'm the only one talking. So,
Yeah. Well,
and
I've been, like I've been on Finding Bigfoot, and I've been on the radio a couple of
yeah,
times, not for this, but
yeah,
for, my kids' fundraiser at high school kind of thing. But being on any kind of media like this is terrifying for some people. I mean, I
yeah.
was nervous, so
There's nothing to be nervous about.
okay.
So, well, Raenell, thank you so much for
You're very
coming on the
welcome.
show tonight.
Thanks for
We
having me
really
on
enjoyed
here.
it. And I'm
Great.
going to tell you, that first UFO story was the bomb.
Yeah,
The
I still have
bomb.
nightmares sometimes about
I,
aliens.
I, I liked it better than your Finding Bigfoot story. Just saying.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Well, thanks, Raenell.
You're
And
very welcome.
everybody out there in cryptid land, keep it creepy.
Yeah, out in the woods where the shadows creep, I'm trying to find the legend that the people keep. Bigfoot's the name, got a story to tell. Footprints in the mud, can't you hear the bell? Whispers in the night, can you feel that chill? Bigfoot on the run, he's a legend, keep it real. Bigfoot, yeah, he's the talk of the town. Creeping through the trees, never wearing a frown. Legend of the forest, he's got a big stride. As the trap beats thump, you know he's got pride. Like I'm on a quest, searching for the homie, you know he's the best. Got my camera ready, heightened senses on blast. Snap a shot of Sasquatch, legend unsurpassed. Eyes in the dark, you can't catch what you can't see. King of the woods, living wild and free. Bigfoot, yeah, he's the talk of the town. Creeping through the trees, never wearing a frown. Legend of the forest, he's got a big stride. As the trap beats thump, you know he's got pride.